What's up, guys? I'm Chris. Welcome to VHP Engines. So I went over my checklist here, and I think with one or two of them merging and one of them really not being worth the effort, I think that this is a video. This is going to be like the last one I can knock off that list that's worth the time here. And that is B20V versus LSV. I'm going to weigh in on that, and I think it's going to be really quick here to talk about. Fuck. Yeah. Come on, even out, you piece of shit. Alright. So, and then now it's too much to the other side. Anyway, fuck it. Gonna carry on here, not worry about the camera being a little tilted. So, B20V versus LSV, and to keep with how I've done the versus series so far, we're gonna do cost versus performance. And, I think we have it's almost like a double header here, maybe a double header. I don't know what you call it. Two-sided winner. We have a winner and loser for each category. So if you aren't familiar with the topics of what I've talked about already, like what you can get at LSV, what you can get B20V, I did the topics based on NA, like what can you get out of these NA, and the main reason why is because when I go to talk about like a boost for this, the torque numbers will usually be the only big difference here, and that really depends on, accompanied bolt-ons. If you go turbo, like if you have the same kind of bolt-ons, if they're built very similar with the bolt-ons and boost, in the same similar turbo setup, you can literally make the same power for both engines. So I think that when you throw in like forced induction, like there's no real point of comparing them besides the fact that B20 sleeves and all that, which I have talked about. So I don't see the real reason to compare and contrast with boost. So we'll compare and contrast with NA, and I guess that you guys can guess which one's going to be the winner here. B20V, LSV, B20V. B20V is going to make bigger numbers all across the board, like tit for tat. Like a stock to stock, B20V makes more power than the LSV. Build for build, depending on which stage you go, the B20V is going to shore up more power every time. It's because no replacement for displacement. You're generally speaking, you're gonna expect to see more out of the B20V than you will out of the B8 or the LSV. Not knocking the LSV at all, because here's the strong point for that. Like when you're talking about LSV versus B20V and you want to go boost any kind of forced induction, I would lean towards the LSV. Like I've said before in the B20 videos I've talked about, I feel like I'm beating a dead horse there, but there's nothing about the B20 that I feel so unsafe about that I'm not going to build that for boost. I'm not going to build it for high compression NA. Anyway, I'm not scared of shit going boom. So there's nothing that's going to deter me from building a B20 whatever way I want to do when I start to build it. So, but with that being said, I know that there are some people who maybe they want to do one and done. Like they're building this car, this is going to be their car forever. Doubtful. But they just, whatever they want to build this engine one time, never build another engine, just to say they have this one car and done. Then I would suggest going with the LSV, just for that safety factor that is undeniably increased by a margin. So LSV versus B20V. B20V if you want to stay in A, LSV if you're considering doing the forced induction route, and it's other than that, to see more detailed breakdown on them in general, see the separate videos I made. As far as cost goes, because that's performance, I didn't cover the cost part. Cost is relatively the same. Just because of the fact that if you're buying from a JDM import place, you're going to get your block, then the blocks are maybe a little bit different in price, but I think that even there it's similar. And I know if you're buying off the markets and you're buying it like from Facebook or whatever, it's a toss-up, man. You can find either block, for really cheap depending on where you live. So yeah, and I guess that's it. I was debating on uploading this separately from the other two videos I've done, but I might just go ahead and throw them all up because two of them are kind of short. All right, guys. So if you're new here and you find any interest in the channel and you think that you want to keep digging, you're interested here, all of my newer videos I'm posting, I'm giving at the end of the video a link to the video how to navigate VHP engines. If you have any questions, that you want to ask me, there's a good chance I've already answered them on the channel. So please watch that video to learn how to navigate through the 350 plus videos I already have. And you'll usually find your shit based on the organization of how I make my playlists and stuff like that. If you go through and you read, you viewed all the topics that are relative to your conversation that you want to have, then feel free to come hit me up personally and I'll talk to you. But if you hit me up with something I've already covered, I'm just going to share you that video. I'm not going to answer you further. So just please do us both a favor and watch that video. All right. So again, thanks for watching and peace.